All right, we're back for another episode of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
I'm Rob.
Well, joining us today is someone who I believe is someone that revived downtown Marine City, and
Fifth
also
Lagoon.
grew up next door to him, not too far down the road on Urban Drive. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Todd May. Todd, thank you for joining the show.
Welcome. Golf clap.
Yep.
The Candyman. Does everybody call you the Candyman, Todd?
No, I'm actually called Mr. Todd.
Mr. Todd.
Mr. Todd.
Okay, I got it.
You would like to be referred throughout the program as Mr. Todd?
No, Todd's good.
Yeah.
Because if he was going to do Mr. Todd, I was going to say, I want to be referred to as Czar.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all good. So
Fred, you can address me as Mr. May. The rest of you guys can just call me.
Oh boy. Okay, Mr. May. Quick question. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how the sweet tooth came to fruition?
How did the sweet tooth come to fruition?
My background was in hotel and restaurants. And then in 2009, when the first recession hit, I was top executive for a hotel. And it was the first one to be let go because I guess I made the most money. So taking the summer off, I realized I needed to get a job. And obviously there was no jobs out there. So I created my own job. So we did some research. We figured out that candy was something that everybody still wanted. So we decided to open a candy store. One of my childhood memories was, if you're from Marine City, everybody remembers Luke's. So old man Luke, he would always, let us go behind his counter. He'd give us a little bag. We'd go and get our penny candy, and we off would go. So I wanted to be the new Luke, technically, of town. So
fantastic. Well, I will tell you right now, it also reminds me, obviously we always had the little grocery too. And, right up by where you and I lived up on Urban Drive. And, Luke's was always a stop, and Pansy's Corner Grocery was always another one too. If you're with mom and dad coming from, let's say, a little league game. But, so Todd, what year did you graduate from Marine City?
1982.
1982. And where did you end up going to college?
I actually only went one semester to St. Clair Community College, and then I decided to just travel the world. So I
oh, really? That's cool.
Left college because I guess I wasn't ready for it. And I had the opportunity. My older brother was stationed in Germany, and he called me at Christmas right as soon as these over. And he says, "What are you doing?" And I says, "Absolutely nothing." And I says, "I don't like college." So I decided to go over there, and I traveled for a couple months, and then I came back home for a little bit, and then went right back over and traveled some more. So
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it mostly Europe you traveled in, Todd?
Yeah, I got to see a lot of fun things. I did Germany, East Germany, Yugoslavia, France, Belgium, England, Spain, Portugal. So we pretty much went everywhere. So
what was your favorite place to visit over there?
You know what? The most fun I had was in Spain and Germany. Germany was a lot of fun because it was Christmas, New Year's. It was a lot of fun.
They have a lot of the old-fashioned, like the Christmas outside. Like at least when I was over there, there's the town that I was in. They kind of closed down the streets. It's almost like a block party, and they had like Christmas things going on, all the markets and food, and they had the burn barrels going so people could stand around, and it was pretty cool. Did they have that there?
You don't want to walk down any streets New Year's Eve in Germany because they shoot off flare guns not up in the air but down the street itself.
Flare guns?
Flare guns, yeah.
Todd, don't let him confuse you. He never went to Germany. He's been to Frankenmuth. He's talking about Frankenmuth.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Rob.
Yeah. So Todd, for the people that I know, some of our listeners are not from Marine City,
All
but
two.
you know, kind of give your description of what the Sweet Tooth is all about and what you guys provide.
Sure. Again, we started the Sweet Tooth. It was for me out of necessity. I created my own job. We started 13 years ago, December 1st, actually.
Wow,
So,
that's awesome.
13 years. We started across the street. It was just a small area that we started with. And within 5 years, we outgrew our old place. And then the cool thing is that the old Apple Core, Ben Franklin's when we were kids, it came up for for sale. So a gentleman bought it, wanted me to come over to be the anchor store. So I came over for that. We went from 1,100 square feet to like 2,700 square feet in the store itself. We provide, when I first started the store, when I was setting up the candy per se, I was setting it up in decades. So the earliest candy was 1846, and I was just adding each year how I was ordering it. I was ordering it in the decade itself. So the guy knew exactly what I was doing and how I was setting the store up to have it start with the oldest candy in our shelves and go to the most current candy. And then we added our bulk walls in a small chocolate area that we started making our own chocolate. And then we added ice cream. So currently we have probably over 800 different types of candy in the store itself. And then we make over 110 different types of candy ourselves in the store. So we have a nice variety.
Yeah. And I know that your store has won some awards. Why don't you tell some of the viewers about that?
We actually have been named the best sweets and treats in the Metro Detroit area for 12 of the 13 years that we've been open.
Wow.
Wow. That is phenomenal, especially in a small town like Marine City. And I'm going to be honest with you, Todd. I think you are the first person that started the revolution of getting Marine City revived. And
I give credit to Missy and Jeremy Fisher that started the MC Fish Company first.
Yeah.
6 months before me. And then I opened, they were just a small restaurant at the time too. And we all know now what they've grown into. Same with me, very small. We grew and the city grew around us. I mean, look at from 13 years ago, we had Gord's, Gar's, Anita's, the Sweet Tooth, the Fish Company. That's it. And then now look what we have. We have a hotel. We have 2 stage production theaters. We have eclectic shops. We have just about anything anybody would want to come down to Marine City and see now. We even got a spa. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yeah, I've heard there's one in town.
yeah.
Really? A little rub and tuck?
Yeah, it happens to be right below where I'm sitting right now, but
Yeah.
Little Asian, little massage. I could go for that right about now. Let me see. There's got to be a way I can call one right now. I can see if I can get it going.
So a year ago, we had an opportunity. A suite opened up here in the store in the complex. So when Roasted closed, we decided to open a cafe. So now we have a full cafe that's open 7 days a week, 13 hours a day. Coffee, pastries, scones, donuts, you name it, we have it.
Now, where is that located? Because you used to have a party area too, right?
Party area is my office and storeroom now, but the suite right behind us is now our cafe. So we've opened it up. We can pass through the storage areas and go to the cafe. But
Hey Todd, the roasted used to have, and I've been into your cafe once. I got a pastry, it was delicious, and coffee. This is maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But they used to have a scone that was called cherry and orange, Michigan cherry and orange at the roast. And I'm telling you, it was one of the most delicious scones I've ever had. Do you guys, did you get any of the recipes, or do you do anything like that?
our scones are better.
I'm sure they are, but I mean, do you make like the flavors with like the cherry, like Michigan, the Michigan cherry and ice or in orange or?
Yep, we have a cranberry orange, a cherry almond. We run a blueberry scone for right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that
sounds
does
really
sound
good.
Hey, why don't we play since we have the Candy Man on the show, why don't we play around the horn? We all go take turns and say what our favorite candy from back in the day was.
Oh God, I love this.
Like I'll start it out.
Okay.
Razzles.
Have them.
I know you do. I bought them at your place.
Yeah, me too. Me too. When I saw him, I acted like I was 5 years old, going, "Oh my God! Oh my God!"
Yes. Yeah. Raz. Okay. Who's next? Mike?
Well, I know Todd has these because I buy them from his store, Zots.
Oh yeah.
Love the Zots.
Bub's daddy.
Oh.
Or it's not available. So
Oh, it's
How
not
about you,
available at
Todd?
all.
Yep. But a very close second.
get that crap out of your mouth too.
Right. Yeah. Right. But a very close second is Double Bubble, and I know you have that.
Mine was the Mallow Cups and Zagnuts.
I love Mallow
Yes.
Clubs.
Mallow
Yes.
Cups, you get coupons and you get free stuff with it. So that's
Yeah.
why I always got those.
Todd, why were there two holes in the bottom of the cardboard in the bottom? You remember that?
They still have them in there. I have no idea why there was two.
I
holes.
could never figure out what those were for.
It's keeping it fresh to let the air flow through. I don't know.
I don't know. I
Maybe
always thought
it's to line up the cups on the paper. I don't know.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
so they
Mallow
won't
Clubs-
slide around.
Yeah.
I loved them more than Reese's cups. I swear. And they have that sprinkle on top. You know what I mean? Like and then
The coconut.
It's coconut. Yeah. Is that what it is? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
there's coconut and the chocolate on the top.
Oh my God, I love Mallow Cups. Mm.
What about the peanut? There's peanut butter ones too. Is it Boyer? Is that the brand?
Yep, and those are smoothies, peanut butter and butterscotch.
Oh, I didn't know they had butterscotch.
That's
I
a
love butterscotch.
Mm.
Candyman, everything.
Well,
Yeah.
so what is the oldest candy? Do you still have the oldest candy in the store that you started with? Like
Yeah,
and what is that?
The Necco wafers, 1847. They were first.
Oh, I remember those.
Wow,
Yep.
that's from that far back.
They're the wafers about that big, Todd?
Yeah, they look like communion wafers almost.
Yeah. Yep.
Oldest candy that we have here is actually horehound candy, and it was pretty much
Come again.
it was called horehound, and it tastes like a cough drop, but it was the 1600s that was put out. So it's a root candy, and it was actually made to soothe your throat also. But it's called horehound.
You know what? I would go through Luden's honey, black licorice and honey like they were candy. My mom would have to stop me, open up that box, and I'd be throwing them down like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah,
Still
because
does shit like that.
doesn't Ricola have kind of like a newer version of that type of candy, Todd?
I don't know.
Yeah, because they got that. I think it kind of tastes like that the old time medicine type stuff, but it has a kind of a root flavor like you were talking about.
That shit was good.
Do you sell a lot
And
of
the
that?
cherry, the Luden's cherry.
Horehound? No, not too much. The younger crowd has no idea what it tastes like. They won't buy anything that says whore in it.
Yeah.
All right.
See, and that's just the opposite for me.
What about those little hard candies, the root beer barrels? Do you have those?
Yeah.
Oh.
We have actually Dad's root beer barrels. So it's the Dad's root beer.
Is it by the bulk or do you buy them in bags or?
They're by the bulk.
What would one of the first candies, Todd, would have been like rock candy though? I mean, that was like a very popular candy back in the early 1800s?
Yes, but it wasn't, I guess it wasn't mass produced. It was kind of like something somebody would make in the store, but in the factory candies, the Necco wafers was the first thing that was mass.
The first mass produced.
Yeah.
I love that scene from the Josie Wales, outlaw Josie Wales, when the little Indian guy says, "I got a piece of this rock candy, but it's not for licking. It's just for looking through and makes things look pretty." I don't know if you guys.
Yeah,
I'm a big.
I remember.
Nobody remembers.
I remember it.
Just
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I've never seen Outlaw Josie Wales. Sorry.
Again with the not watching movies.
Not watching.
Wasn't big into the Western stuff.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Okay.
you watch Yellowstone in 1883 and 1923 and 1647 and however many spin-offs he's had.
Maybe I found a new appreciation. Maybe I'll watch it soon.
Oh,
Todd, what
you
is
remember-
the number one selling ice cream at the Sweet Tooth?
I was just going to ask that.
It's technically between there's three top ones. The Super Scoop, which most people call Superman, which is horrible.
Right.
I love that as a kid, though.
Michigan Deer Tracks, which is Moose Tracks, and then the Seaside Caramel. Those are our top three.
Now, is the
Nice.
Seaside Caramel, is that salted caramel or no?
Salted caramel,
Mhm.
caramel apples, vanilla ice cream.
What about the Mackinac cherry fudge one, or what's the Mackinac one?
But not as good as the other three.
You have it.
Toasted coconut.
Oh yeah, that's good too. That toasted coconut.
So I'll tell you the one thing about your place too, Todd, is when you walk in, it creates a lot of memories. Like I remember walking in for the very first time, and you had the round bubble gums with the triple, home run, single, double, all that stuff, and it just brought back memories of being over at the Little League field and being able to buy those. And it's just so cool that you have all that stuff. And I'm a huge Tootsie Pop guy too, because I like just sitting there and just chilling with one. But you have so much awesome stuff. It's so hard to you walk in there if you're hungry at all or have a sweet craving. It's like going into Meijer when you're hungry. So I love your place. I think it's awesome. It's perfectly located, and I know on an average, basically in a week, how many people you think come in and out the door?
Gosh, that's a good question. In the summertime, we average about 350 transactions a day.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. So like on a given, like right now it's slow. So today we probably did about 100 transactions. But that's still good for January.
Oh
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
No question.
Todd, I know one old candy you don't have in the store. I can almost bet my life on it.
What's that?
Candy cigarettes.
I do have them. Bubblegum.
Bye, Rob. It was nice knowing you.
You got the bubble gum one with the paper wrapper that you blow and the little poof comes out?
Yep.
Rob,
No way.
so do you want to kill yourself on the show this week or next week?
Well, I think we should raffle that off to one of our 3 or 4 listeners. I'm sure we get a lot. That'll be popular.
Hunger Tooth edition. There you go.
Yes, I love it. Hunger
of the idiots.
We'll even make it a competition, Rob.
Well, just look at it. Your ratings will go up afterwards too. So it's a win-win for everybody,
Yes.
I guess, but me.
Good point.
Yeah.
So Todd, how about some of your memories of cruising the Idiot Circle back in the day?
I think we created the Idiot Circle for all you young kids. We, it was fun. It was obviously it kept us out of trouble. We're just driving a circle.
Right.
Some of us.
How to go to and cruise crash it. So our parents wouldn't let us go past, Palms Road. So, it was just something to do, But again, we stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, and then you stopped cruising the Idiot Circle, didn't you?
I was working at night, so
Yep, you were at McDonald's.
Yeah. So I worked every night at McDonald's pretty much. So I didn't drive the Idiot Circle too much.
Yeah, well,
you weren't an idiot then. It was just the rest of us.
yeah.
I mean, a given Saturday night, every once in a while, sure, I'd drive it. But that's only to check up on my younger siblings to see what they were doing.
Well, I'm sure Corey was reading scripture at home.
Yep,
Hey,
definitely.
Todd, go in a little bit about, because I think this is pretty cool. When I heard you brought this to Marine City, I was living obviously out of state, but you were working a career, it goes away. That happened to a lot of us. It happened to me too in 2006. People were struggling, hard times to find out, how you're going to rebuild and recoup. But you decided to, pay yourself, right?
Yeah.
Become your own boss. But you are also able to go back to your roots of a hometown, a small town, and create something like this. Can you talk a little bit about that?
When you look at when you lose a job for a silly reason, but then you look at that and it turns out to be this, it's pretty darn cool, and
I would
again,
think.
when you work 110 hours a week for somebody else and you're not appreciated, and then when you turn around and work 110 hours for yourself and you see the growth and you see what you can do and what I have done for Marine City,
It's prideful. Prideful?
What was that?
I mean, I'm just trying to equate it if I did something like that, because I try to put myself in your position. I mean, I'd feel proud. I'd feel like, I've come back, I've done something here.
Yeah. And to look back, it was perfect timing to lose my job also. My mom was extremely sick at that time. I got to spend an entire summer helping my dad with my mom. I already had lived here I moved back to the area in 97 because I worked for Charlie's Crab for a long time and I traveled the United States for them. And I had the opportunity back in 97 to move back to Marine City to work in St. Clair and Port Huron for the company. And, it was perfect timing for everything. So, did I hate my previous boss because he fired me? Sure. Because, but it improved me. Every time there's a bad thing that happens in your life, you make it a positive thing. And that's what I did here. I look back after the 13 years and, we look back at these sales for the past 13 years and what my sales have been. I'm kind of shocked. I've never added it up until this year. And I was actually shocked at how much sales I've done in 13 years here.
That's crazy.
I'm not going to tell you.
No,
No.
We wouldn't ask you to tell us anyway.
$2.80.
No. But I would think you would have that moment at some point, 6 months after you open, a year, 2 years. Maybe you're walking down the street, maybe you're in a restaurant or a bar or wherever, and nobody in there knows you own the shop, and you hear someone say, "Oh, the sweet, I love that place. That's my favorite place." That's got to give you that moment of like, wow, that just happened.
Yeah, because a funny story, it was 10 years ago. I was on a cruise for Christmas and I was down at guest services and that just talking with somebody. And I hear behind me, "Mr. Todd, what the blank are you doing here?" Okay, and these are people actually from Sombra, Canada, that store, and they were on the ship also. So it's now we laugh because we can't really go anywhere anymore without somebody seeing us or knowing me.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like, okay, I'd like to just have a quiet dinner sometimes, but you know what? Again, I'm proud that what I made and what I did and that people recognized me from certain things. My older brother, Brian, they had a joint class reunion for class of 80, 81, 82, and 83. And I didn't go to it, but everybody's coming up and they're saying, "Hey, you're Todd's brother, right? Hey, you're Todd's brother, right?" He's getting mad because he's like, "I'm the brother. People should be saying to them, you're Brian's brother, right?"
That's funny.
Well, speaking of family, your mom was awesome, and your mom was awesome. Your dad was a really nice guy. I see him at the football games with coming to obviously because Corey's working with the football team and she's sitting with Patty, and it's great to see him out and about doing stuff. But your mom was the salt of the earth, and she's I know you really miss her, and she was a great lady.
Oh yeah. I think, when I started this 13 years ago, she's been gone now 10 years. When I started this 13 years ago, she was so sick and she really never got to see the whole part of all of this. I think mom was still alive, she'd be at that front door greeting everybody every single day. It's same with you, Fred. Your mom, she was the same way. We lost our moms at a young age, and I know they know that what we've done in our lives, and they'd be proud of us, but we'd be better if they were here.
I totally agree.
Todd, because of that, do you have maybe like a homage in your store to your mom, or do you have something special?
The hallway that has the sweet tooth carved in it. It's made of Michigan white pine, and it has my mom's name on it, so it's dedicated to her. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's always here. I think she haunts once in a while too, though.
God, that'll be a cottage business in itself. You'll say the haunted sweet tooth. Everybody will
Yes, and I know that you do special things during the holidays, and you have your store always decorated. Always looks awesome. Halloween is by far my favorite with you guys. But man, it is so cool to have something like that, and coming downtown and just seeing people standing out in front of your store or at the booth waiting to get some ice cream. It just makes everybody feel so good that the downtown is, we're back in the day, we could do somersaults down the middle of South Water and never see a car.
Just tumbleweeds.
Yeah. But what you and the Fishers have done, it just made Marine City what it is today. And like I said, it's just kudos to you guys for being able to do that.
You brought up Halloween, but does anybody like candy corn? Anybody?
I like it.
You do. There seems to be like a big business for it. People love it. I can't get into it.
In between on that candy, either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like the good sugar buzz, so I'll pop a couple candy corns. Having candy corns and peanuts together, it's just the ultimate salt and sugar. So, but going back to the Fishers and everybody else, basically what I love about Marine City is that we all work so well together. Every business in town promotes each other. We have each other's backs in good times and bad. That's what I like of the small town, is that we're always working together. And when it's an event, or if I'm having a special event here, everybody else is supporting me. I just recently, on all my cups for my coffee cups in the cafe, says, thank you for coming to the Sweet Tooth. Have you been to, and I pick certain businesses in town. I'm not charging them to advertise for them. I'm just promoting them. So when they are successful, I'm successful. And that's the whole thing about small town Marine City.
I love it, because that's one thing that when we started doing the show, Todd, one of the ideas that we came up with was to promote the local businesses down in Marine City. Mike lives in Marine City, Rob lives in Florida, and I live in Marysville. And we actually had the owners of the Two Rivers on. Missy's supposed to come on the show here in the next couple of weeks, and having you on there. But when we did the Two Rivers, after the show that weekend, they had 24 to 30 people come in that weren't even from the area, never even knew they existed, because they somehow watched the show or someone mentioned it and they went there.
Those 3 viewers told their friends, and they told
and so on and so on. Vidal Sassoon.
Yeah, exactly.
So Todd, I have a question for you. I want to know how much water you go through by hosing off the sidewalks because you're out there every day when it's nice weather. How much water do you go through?
You know what? Marine City's deficit has come away from me because I've given so much to Marine City for water bill. But yeah, it's one of those things. I guess, for me, I clean the sidewalks every day. I mean, I still were cleaning them in the early November because I'm one of those people. I'm very anal about how things have to look. Obviously, when you walk into my store, but when you walk up to an establishment and the front of the store is a mess, or the sidewalks are a mess, or the curbs are a mess, it's not inviting. So I started that across the street. I still do it every day. And it's just something that some people think I'm like from a different world, like you're very European, because they do that all the time in Europe, I guess. But it's like, I guess it's just pride in my store. I need to look nice at all times, inside and out.
Well, it does.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but it's absolutely beautiful what you've done with the place.
So,
Sorry.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to say it.
oh, where I live.
Oh well. Hey, what I mean, then you get people visiting, putting flowers there, and it'd be nice.
Come over and cut the grass. Be my guest. Give me
Cut the grass.
That's funny. So what about so speaking of your family, what are your other family members doing?
Michelle is my general manager here at the store.
Yep.
Been with me since the beginning also. My brother Brian's retired and traveling the United States in an RV. And
Nice.
Corey is still with EMS and lives up in Fort Gratiot.
That's fantastic. So what do you have do you have any upcoming ideas or any kind of promotions that you're going to be doing here pretty soon?
Well, obviously Valentine's Day is coming up, and then we go right.
Yeah.
So we always have some fun stuff for the holidays here. We obviously the cafe, we're promoting that all the time. We've only been open a year in the cafe, so we're constantly promoting that. And we may start a third business, but we're going to keep that under wraps for right now. But it's going to be one of those Marine City businesses that everybody will remember. So,
oh boy.
I hope it's not a brewery. That I want to do a brewery in Marine City.
But we did have somebody that was famous for something in Marine City, so we're hoping to revive that soon.
Oh,
But that's got the.
I wonder what that is.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you.
Well,
can we guess?
Yeah, we got to figure. Yeah,
well,
we guess it.
Well, you can guess it. He's not going to say it. So,
well, like do it, like this or something.
We'll know if his eyes light up if we got it right.
I'm trying to think of someone who's known for something in Marine City.
Oh, I have a good
Joe
guess.
Dogs.
Yep.
Joe Dogs.
That's what I was going to guess.
Back.
That's what I was going to guess.
Look
He's
at his
not
face.
seeing
I think
anything.
we got it. I think we got it.
What's that, Todd?
Bring back the bathhouse, the old Colonial Hotel.
All right, I'm moving back in.
Yeah. He's bringing back the Broadway.
Broadway. Those two.
Joe Dogs. I think it's Joe Dogs. I'm going Joe Dogs.
No.
We should
He's
have.
not gonna.
We should
Hey,
have.
Rob.
Hey, listen. If we have
Read the room.
If we have all three of our listeners guess on our Facebook page, and whoever gets it right, will they get a free root beer candy?
Oh, sure. I'll give them a free root beer candy.
Okay, there you have it. There you got it, folks. You've been motivated. Go
So, Todd, I know that the older people the older people like us who come into your store have a great time. But what's it like when the kids come in that are, let's say maybe between 6 and 10 years old, and you see their face? What? I mean, just tell me how that goes.
3 and 4 year olds come in, and their first words is "Wow." we didn't have anything like this when we were kids. I mean, grant you, we had the convenience stores that had penny candy, but something like this in our town when we were kids, I mean, we wouldn't have, you guys wouldn't be named the idiots, or you'd be named the sweet tooth today, because that's where all the kids would have hung out instead of downtown. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool when it's not even just the kids. It's like the people that come in here from just west of us, and from Macomb County and Oakland County and all that. When they walk in the store, it's just it's like wow. Because even if you walk into a candy store in a mall or anywhere else, it's nothing like this.
Yeah, right.
Totally agree. So, to your knowledge, who do you know the person that came the farthest to come to your store?
Oh, we've had people from Australia.
That's the winner.
Australia. So yeah, so we I think Australia would be the farthest away so far. But yeah, it's funny because actually my niece was on an airplane and she was coming home from the Dominican Republic, and some people were on the plane and they were asking them questions. They're like, "Hey, where are you from?" She said, "Marine City." And the lady's like, "Oh my God, I've been to Marine City. I love the sweet tooth in Marine City." She's like, "Well, I worked here a drink." So it's just like, yeah, and even I do a lot of traveling now too. So I'm kind of famous on the cruise ships because people are waiting, staff are waiting on the cruise ship for me to get on because they know I'm bringing candy with me. So
Were you like a dealer on that thing?
so why me take it?
I got the goods, Mrs. Belfort. I got the goods.
Yeah.
I actually have a captain for the cruise line that if she knows that I'm coming on board, she will message me weeks before and say, "Please bring me this candy, this candy, this candy."
A captain?
A message from one of the crew members today that she's almost out of her candy and she wants to know where she can buy this candy that I gave her. And I told her that I make it. Just send me a ticket for a cruise and I'll bring her some more candy. So, hey.
Yeah. Todd's walking down there. He's going, "Hey, Twizzlers, Pixie Sticks."
Yeah.
He goes, "I got it all."
I give him the good stuff. I give him the stuff we make. So.
Oh yeah. The stuff that you make is phenomenal. I mean, my girlfriend and her daughter bought a bunch of stuff. And I said, I haven't tried that yet. And I was like, oh my God. Because if I lived anywhere near the store, I'm already almost close to 300 pounds, but I mean, I would be 300 pounds at your place. I don't know. And how do you control your cravings?
You're a raisinette away from 300 pounds, big boy.
And so how do you avoid the cravings of walking around the store and kind of picking at it?
I will tell you, I gained almost 100 pounds since I in the past year and a half lost 80 of that 100. I had to quit eating my candy. But it's not like breakfast, lunch, and dinner like it used to be. So yeah, you have to, especially since I'm a sweetaholic, you have to really watch it. So it's so tempting. So
it's kind of like when you back in the day when you worked at McDonald's, or when I worked at the Sunrise and and you're making pizzas and stuff like that, and you go in the back and grab some pepperonis and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get away from this place.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You tend to eat what's available. So
yeah.
What's available, you eat it.
You said breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So what were you doing? Eating Goo Goo clusters for breakfast?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's still something that has egg in it or, milk.
Yeah.
What is this, Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
Can I have a piece of chocolate cake? It has milk. It's got eggs.
Great.
Dad,
give us the chocolate cake.
Yeah.
It is the chocolate cake.
Yep. Oh my God, it's hilarious. So, hey, Todd, has there been any other candy stores that you've been around that you looked at and said, "Oh, that's a pretty cool idea. I'm going to try to do something like that and put my little swing onto it"?
No, there's been candy stores that come in here and and try to replicate it, but they don't last long because the difference is you have to put your heart and soul into it. I didn't socialize with my family for at least 6 years because I was here from open to close 7 days a week. So you have to put everything you have into it to make it work. I mean, Mike, you know what you and Tammy have done with the spa. You have to put everything into it to make it work. So, but eventually you can now walk away and feel confident that your employees can run it while you're not here. Like I said, Michelle, my sister, is my right-hand man or woman. And I have full confidence that everything's going to be done when I'm gone, so I know walk away here tomorrow and the place will still run exactly like it was last week.
Mike, does he know you only shovel snow at the spa? That's the
He
only
knows I
job
do the outside maintenance and,
Yeah.
shoveling the snow, picking up the leaves, and Tammy runs the whole place.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But
your daughter.
like nobody could get in.
True.
And what time this year shovel snow so far, so you're basically retired.
I wish. I wish. So it's incredible to me that you can work with your sister, because honestly, I can't think of a single member of my family that I would like to work with, to be completely honest, and they know this about me.
I have friends that work with your family, so I get it.
Well, they probably feel the same about Mike too.
Yeah. The feeling's definitely mutual. Definitely.
Oh God.
Michelle and I are very similar. I don't think Corey watches this, but I don't think Corey and I could work together. No, not at all. We're completely opposite. So
Corey doesn't watch this. Nobody watches this. Nobody listens to me when I say that, but nobody watches this.
Yeah.
We have some people that watch it, Rob.
Yeah. You
selling
don't
us short.
Yeah, you don't get anywhere between 80 and 200 views on shows if they're not somebody's watching it. It's not every time somebody goes on it adds another view, you melon head. Todd, we don't mean to scare you.
I don't get scared easily.
I know. Yeah. So, what is the funniest thing that's ever happened in the store? Either maybe to one of your workers or to you, that after it was over, you guys just died laughing about it.
Well, know what the funniest thing ever. I mean, my staff thought it was funny, but I slipped and fell one day and wiped out a table. They all laughed at me, but they thought it was hilarious. No, it's just I guess the cutest thing ever is Chris Beaker's daughter. When they came in for the first time, they literally took their coat, their shoes, everything off at the front door. And Molly is 16 now, so she was 3 at the time, and she's like, "I'm home. I'm not going anywhere." Often just walk through the store, like, okay, there you go. But that was, it's always the kids that give you the lasting memories, So, and again, those kids now, like Molly is 16. Those are the kids that, like, we talk about Luke Mannion at Luke's. So now I'm him, where it's like these kids grew up with me. These kids are now work for me, So it's hard to believe that some of these little kids that came in the beginning are now my employees.
You talked about the symbiotic relationship with the other business owners. I went to a play at the Riverbank, Greece, and so that had a lot of young kids there in it. And I swear to God, every one of them had candy from your shop. So, yeah.
You should have seen when we did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
So were you singing the Candyman song and dancing around when they walked in?
I was in the play as the Candyman.
Oh, were you? That makes
you?
sense.
Really?
Produced the play. I was the executive producer. Like I was the sponsor of that play, and I did all the set decoration and everything. And then they created a part just for me in the beginning and the end for the play itself. So I was in all 21 performances. So yeah, and we spent about $9,000 on set decorations with all the candy and the different things that we did. And then, so yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
That
That's
is
awesome.
cool.
So what is your favorite candy, Todd? Or ice cream? What's your poison?
My poison is a chocolate covered Nutter Butter.
Ooh, yeah, those are
Ooh.
good.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm usually 1 or 2 a day. It used to be 5 or 6 a day.
I was just gonna say that it's not helping with you losing all that weight.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to eat them when Christmas was a couple weeks ago. Now it's Valentine's. We still have Christmas colors on certain things, so you got to eat it.
You have to sample it too to make sure they're good,
Yep.
right?
Control always.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, those are outstanding. My kids well, they know I love them, so whenever they go, they'll buy me some and bring them. So, my kids can't walk past your store without getting something.
Yep.
It's got to quit moving away to college and everything else, and they need to just keep staying in Marine City though. So
That's what I tried to tell them, but they don't listen.
they'll be back.
Yeah.
Well, every year I do the announcing for the football team. The week of the first game, I come in your store and I get one big giant bag of Double Bubble because I like to chew. I like to chew gum during the game and stuff like that. And by the end of the year, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta go back and get some more.
So
I'm
how
glad
many pieces of Double Bubble during a game? Because the flavor lasts for what, 34 seconds, something like that.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go through 5, 6, 7 pieces.
Do you think
All
they
at
made
once?
that? Do you think they made that gum on purpose like that so people would buy more? It just the flavor. It seems like that's the gum that just doesn't last very long at all.
It's like Fruit Stripe. It tastes good for the first 10 seconds, and then you spit it out because it tastes horrible afterwards.
All right.
I haven't had Fruit Stripe in probably 30 years. I forgot about that gum.
Do you have that? Do you have that, Todd?
Oh yeah.
Right now, no, they're not producing it. So
Oh.
Okay.
very tough to get certain things after COVID and during COVID, but coming back. But yeah, it's been a struggle trying to get the fun stuff that we used to have.
Do you have blackjack gum?
We get that every 2 years. They only produce that every 2 years.
Yeah.
So you lots of it, and that's like eating a piece of cardboard too. That's flavorless. But
I love it though. I love black licorice, so I love that.
Ugh.
One.
you need to come in because we got some good black licorice here.
I love black licorice.
See,
And
Rob, Todd's forgotten more about candy than you've ever known about candy.
I don't doubt that.
Not
Not
to
just
mention,
candy. Todd is probably forgotten more about things that I'll ever know. I mean, it's not just candy. He's probably. So what kind of black licorice do you have? Like, I know there's some certain ones, like really good ones I look for when I go to stores. Do you have a brand name, or do you have something that only you have?
It's Wallaby black licorice. It's from Australia.
Yeah, I get I can get Wallaby at I think it's Bed Bath and Beyond.
No, good luck now.
No, it's hard to find.
It's hard to find a Bed Bath and Beyond now. So
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah. Well, we still have one in Bradenton, Florida, so but I haven't been in there in a while. But
the one in Chesterfield just closed.
did it? It is good black licorice, though. I mean, it's oily. I mean, you open up that bag and it's like they're big pieces. It's oily. It's great.
no wax byproducts. It's got good
No
flavor.
wax byproducts. Exactly.
So I had a boss that was from the Netherlands, and they have a black licorice that's covered with salt.
Yeah, it's Scottish licorice.
That is so good.
It is
Really?
not good for you.
No, of course not.
Not with all the salt.
No.
So, no, I'm not a fan of. I like salt and I like black licorice, but the two together, I'm not a fan of. So they call them Scotties.
Okay. You don't have those in the store though, right?
No, I don't like it, so why carry it?
Yeah.
How about a
point.
good Jordan almond?
Jordan almonds, yeah, that's a mainstay.
I love those. I love those too.
We could talk about every candy in the store.
I
that's
know.
that.
Let's just throw out a bunch of.
Just candy.
I'm
That's
just sitting
exactly
here.
what Todd wants to talk about. The
Yeah,
rest of
I'm
his
trying
life
to give. I'm trying to give Todd a question, and I keep looking behind him, and I see that box of Bazooka.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the top
Yep. I'm like,
shelf.
oh
I
my
see
god.
it.
I remember when Mr. Gramer used to cut hair, like right where Missy Fisher, Fish Company, where they walk into to do reservations. He used to have his place right there, and if you were good while you're getting your hair cut, he gave you a piece of Bazooka bubble gum.
Yes, he would. It was so old it was hard. It wasn't the good soft stuff. But
Right. Kind of like baseball card gum.
If it doesn't hurt your jaw.
Right. You wake up in the morning, it's TMJ. No, it's not. It's because you chewed about 40 pieces of gum last night.
Right.
Hey, Todd, we always hear about the properties of dark chocolate, like being healthy for people. You ever hear that? I mean,
The higher the cocoa content, the better it is for you.
yeah.
If you're 70 and above, it's really good for you. But so is wine good for you. So eat dark chocolate and drink wine.
Well, I know the dark chocolate candies at Two Rivers that they do. I'm sure they're from your place.
They are, yeah.
And they're phenomenal.
What's the highest? Was it cocoa? Is that the content, or what is it? Cacao or however they pronounce it. But what's the highest content you've ever tried? I've tried like 95. It's disgusting.
It is disgusting. I actually was in Mexico about a year ago and made chocolate in Mexico. It was like a 97%. And you know what? I'd rather lick tar. But I like, it's kind of like when you were a kid and you climbed up in the cupboard and got that baking chocolate that your mom had up there.
Oh yeah.
So bitter and horrible, and you didn't like, and that's the higher the content, the more bitter the chocolate can be. So it was the Mexicans did it like that, and then they introduced vanilla and different things into it to make it a little bit sweeter. So
I know French people. I worked with a company that was a French company, and some of the people from France came over, and we went. They had a candy store near the company that I was at, and they had that chocolate, and they just went ape shit over it. Like 97%, they were eating it like crazy. I don't know how they did it.
European chocolate is completely different than American chocolate. We're all about getting fat and sweet. They're about healthy. So, but yeah, it's a little too bitter for me. So I kind of tend to stay around the 70%.
Nice. So, Todd, before we close up the show, why don't you just kind of tell us what kind of experience you want people to have when they come into your store, and just in case there's some people, if there is any people that haven't been to your store already, well, what kind of experience they're going to have when they come in?
You know what? I just have some fun when you come in. Just reminisce about, talk with your kids about the candy you had when you were a kid. We have signs all over the walls that start before the 20s and go through the 70s, and different candies that were popular and when candies were introduced. And all of our name tags for our candy bars will tell you what year they were introduced and everything else. And it's just a lot of fun to come in here. Just come in, have a fun experience. We need a little fun in our lives. Life is too serious to be taken seriously. So just have some fun. Live like today's your last day. So eat a piece of candy. You might go in a diabetic coma and die, but hey, you died and took a piece of candy.
Right? What a great tagline for a commercial. Hey, if you're having a bad day, have a piece of candy.
That's right.
The Sweet Tooth, Marine City. Come see us.
I just adopted a new life motto, and it says, live a great story. That's it. So come in, have some fun, be a part of your story in your life, it's about it. So I'm living a great story right now. So this is
certainly are.
I'm going to be 60 soon, and this is the best time of my life. So,
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I will tell you what, anytime that you want me to announce anything coming up to your store, feel free to contact me, and I'll make sure it's done on the show. Or if I'm at the football field during football season, I'll be more than happy to do it for you.
yeah,
Give
and
him
then
give him a little taste of your Marine City announcing voice.
What was that?
Give him a little taste of your Marine City announcing voice.
No, that's okay, Rob.
Come on. Everybody loves it, Fred.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, only you, Rob.
Yeah, you seem to love it more than anybody around.
Yeah.
He has a different voice when he announces. So it's like and another Mariner first down.
That is not even close.
Mike.
It's close.
No, it's
I think it's pretty.
and that's another Mariner first down.
There you go. There you go.
But-
He auditioned for you. Now, can he do commercials for you at the football game?
I got you covered, Todd. If you anything you need like that, I'll be more than happy to do that to get any business towards your way. Like you don't get enough already.
You're not getting any free candy.
I don't want any free candy.
Yeah.
I've known Todd since I was 5. Come on.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Todd.
no, it's been rough.
Get your nuts crushed on top of chocolate at the Marine City Sweet Tooth.
You're
Not go dark.
yeah, not until after dark.
Oh, sweet tooth after dark. That's a good idea.
That is a good one.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Feed your wife some chocolate. Sweet tooth after dark.
Nice.
There you go.
I like it.
Bow chicka bow bow. But
Listen, we can't go to Skinamax now. We just need to stay.
oh no,
Yeah.
no. Let's just keep everything behind closed doors.
We'll just keep it the blurred screen and try to look in between the lines, right?
Todd, did you ever think that the Idiot Circle was going to be part of your life story, the live your story?
No, really not.
Yeah. Do you feel like it enlightened your life anymore since you've
You know what? I tomorrow now and say, hey, I was on the Idiot Circle, and I'd be happy.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have shirts made up. I was on the Idiot Circle and send it to you guys, and you can wear them or you can burn them, whatever you want to do.
How about I survived the Idiot Circle?
Yeah,
What a
that's
bunch of
better.
idiots.
I survived the Idiot Circle. That's better.
Thousands.
So Todd, what we're thinking about doing a Idiot Circle reunion where we're going to talk to the mayor about having a one day on the weekend sometime in the summer, maybe do a night where people are cruising
Cruising
the
the
Idiot
Idiot
Circle.
Circle.
Well,
And-
Jen's mayor now, so I think she cruised the Idiot Circle one too many times also when she was a teenager.
Yeah, that is so true. But if we do that, we'll make sure that we let you know. We'll make sure that your name is mentioned on the shirts and stuff like that too.
All right. And then make sure you tell them to stop in for an ice cream when they're cruising the Idiot Circle.
Of
That
course.
is definitely.
We'll run it out to their car for them.
Look at that. I mean, car door service. I like that.
We had to do it during COVID, so we might as well do it normal.
Hey, the Birdman offered the same service cruising. He'd stop, he'd run out, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah.
We're just keeping the tradition of cars.
Talk about a man that is, ahead of his time.
Absolutely.
Well, hey Todd, we really appreciate you coming on the show, and we hope you enjoyed your time on the show.
Oh, it was ecstatic.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. Hey, folks, don't forget to go visit the Sweet Tooth during any holidays or any normal day. Come and see them on the weekends for some ice cream and some homemade
Valentine's Day.
candies. And Valentine's Day is coming up. Perfect spot to get your significant other some wonderful chocolate so you can do it after dark. So Todd, hey, really appreciate you being on the show, and hopefully we can have you on some other time.
All right.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Todd.
Todd.